was Silver Cloud by State Champs off of their 5th studio record. It's a self-titled record. And for the first time ever, somehow, some way, we have someone who is a friend of mine, a neighbor of mine, a skateboarder in the neighborhood, a fashion designer, all around emo night DJ across the world at this point.
That's true.
And also the frontman in State Champs, Derek DiScanio from upstate New York.
Wow, that was a perfect intro, Fish. Thank you for that. I know it's taken me way too long to come here in studio with you, but we're finally here, finally doing it, and what a better way to celebrate.
No better way to celebrate, honestly. A true honor for you to be here before the record comes out because obviously, as you know, and everyone who's listened to my show for the last 10 years, I am a huge State Champs fan.
We've been knew that. we've been known. But no, it's great, man. This is a great way to celebrate the record. It's just about finally here, and 5th album, self-titled album, and man, I'm just hyped. I'm so ready.
Hell yeah. Now, I've been with you guys through probably about the last 3 records while recording it and everything, and it's been really cool to see your guys' progression through it. Like, I remember Around the World and Back. Maybe that was 4 records ago.
Yeah, because you used to come to our houses that we were staying in while we were writing and recording. You've seen the roller coaster ride that is the morale and chemistry within the group.
It's true. Like, yeah, I remember during Around the World and Back while you guys were recording out here, I believe you were doing it with Kyle Black, and you were going to sessions at his new studio at the time.
Yeah.
You were doing some stuff at MDDN at the time, too.
That's right. Yeah, we did the drums at Old Madden Studio, and we did all the pre-pro there. And that was like our first time to LA, I remember, and just being so excited. Like, we're in Hollywood recording an album. Now I live here, and I'm just like, oh, man, I got to drive to Hollywood.
Yeah, because when you came by the first idobi office, I think it was the same day you guys co-headlined the Roxy with Neck Deep, and that was the first time you guys were at Chick-fil-A in LA. We went to
That's right, on Sunset. Yeah, or, on Hollywood Boulevard, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Sunset. It was Sunset.
Sunset? Yeah, that's right. Oh, my God, yeah. Just the thought of how exciting it was to be like away from home and in a new state recording an album and whatnot. I mean, that excitement still happens. It's just like now I can make an album and go home every night because I live here. You know, it's a pretty awesome feeling. Exactly.
And you didn't exactly do that because you guys went out to Joshua Tree, and I know you guys were demoing out there as well. I got to see the setup rig and everything, and it was very wholesome to see because Chris was out there too, and it just seemed like one big family affair. You guys were just really locked in as a family, really just going back to your roots with State Champs. And for the people out there listening, you even went back to your roots with Glamour Kills relaunching and you guys doing a nice little collab and being at the pop-up at When We Were Young.
It almost feels like it's a decade ago, doesn't it? It's pretty wild, man. But yeah, we started the process and started writing. We rented a house in Joshua Tree in the desert. We wanted to get a little weird and like open our third eye and get all zen and, you know, do some drugs out there and bond. And, you know, it really happened. It really did. I think we spent a lot of time away from each other since the last touring cycle, last album, to where the 4 of us in State Champs, we really wanted to become best friends again. And the best way to do that was to just kind of like get off of our phones and try to like stay off the internet and stuff and just kind of be in a room, be creative, write songs and see what happens. Not that we were set out to write the whole album or anything. I think we only used maybe like 4 or 5 ideas that came from that session in Joshua Tree. But some of the cooler like songs stemmed from an idea when we were just kind of like getting out of our heads and being creative in the room together, and we had a great time. It was a good jumping off point for the process that was this self-titled album.
Amazing. The king of callbacks even went out of my head in that little explanation.
I know, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that, but I did that.
Hell yeah. So now the record starts with The Constant, and that song, in my opinion, is one of the better songs that start a State Champs record. As you know, my personal favorite record starter is Criminal.
Criminal is a great record starter, but we wanted to set the tone right with this one. And The Constant's a very kind of rooty, old school, finger pointy, bouncy pop punk song, which we had to do. You know, we kind of wanted to get back to like, let's do an opener like elevated almost. And that kind of like sets the tone for the record. And like lyrically, it's about being we've been through this roller coaster of ups and downs and pushes and pulls within the industry and behind the scenes stuff. So, and you know, things like management changes and record label drama, and there's so much bullshit that happens behind the scenes that the fans don't ever see. So we kind of peek into that and talk about that in that song and set the tone with, we've been through some shit, but we're about to bring it all back to square one and give you guys the best version of State Champs. Here you go.
Hell yeah. And I feel like in a way this is square one of State Champs in a way, because this is the most reminiscent of the first record that I've heard.
I think so. It's almost like an era's album if you will, of ours. There's songs that could sound like they could have been on our first record, The Finer Things. There's songs then that sound like they could be on Around the World and Back, and so forth and so forth. Kings of the New Age, Living Proof. But all in all, I just think it's the best songs we've ever. Everybody says that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody that puts out a new album goes, "This is our best record. It's the best one." But it really is. The songwriting is ever better, and the sonic sound of us has found its peak form. And this is what I think that plays into why it's self-titled. It's like, what is State Champs? If you were to play something for the first time, what do you want them to hear? I would want them to hear this record. And, we're still making new fans, like oddly 14, 15 years into this band. I'm still finding people be like, I just found out about you guys 2 weeks ago. I'm like, where the hell were you, man? Like, where you been? But it's a good feeling to hear still. So it's like, I want everything to be fresh, and I want everything to be our best.
Amazing. Now, having to play The Finer Things a couple times in the last calendar year, because I think some technically were in 2023, if I remember right.
Yeah, that's right.
We're in 2024 now? Yeah.
So we did some
at LPR?
Yeah, we did club shows at the end of 2023 for the 10-year anniversary, but then we've had to do some festival plays playing the album too. And it's a weird dynamic because it's like, okay, great, celebrate the 10-year anniversary of your first album while you're also getting ready to launch your fifth album. So it's like, well, we want to plug this new thing while we're celebrating this old thing. Like at When We Were Young, for example, recently we had to play it in the festival setting, but it's still like a couple weeks out from our new record. So we're doing interviews talking about that while also plugging this, and we had to find the sweet spot of balancing both. And I think we did. It was but that was the last hurrah for the Finer Things send-off. We were like, okay, great. Moving on now. Let's focus on the new record, folks. Here we go.
Now, do you think going in and relearning those songs might have had some influence on the fifth record, getting back to those roots?
I think so, too. I think it definitely did, especially towards the end of last year, doing them in the club shows. We were like, oh, shit, these are fun to play. I had to remember a lot of lyrics. I don't think I forgot any, thankfully. Maybe one or two.
Very wordy band.
Yeah, there's a lot of words in there that I didn't make it easy on myself. But yeah, I think it played into like, damn, this stuff is cool. Let's remember where we started, like where we came from in the first place, and draw from that influence even on the newer stuff.
Definitely. And I could definitely hear that through the record. And you guys have a song on there, which is my favorite State Champ song by far, just blows away every other State Champ song, in my opinion.
Which one?
I believe it's called Hell of It.
Oh, yeah, dude. See, that one's newer. And I can't wait for people to hear a song like that. I think that's my favorite on the new record as well. Because if you take away my voice and the like guitar tones that are State Champs, and you put somebody like that has some twang on their voice singing that song, that could be sold as a #1 country pop song. Easily. So everyone will be like, when you first hear the song like Hell of It on the new album, you'll be like, whoa, what are we getting ourselves into here? But then that chorus is going to hit, and you're going to go, oh, here we are. We're back. It's State Champs. It's a State Champs song. So, and that's what we wanted to do, make people kind of do a double take almost and be like, whoa. But then there's that hands up, oh yeah, moment where it's like, okay, great, we're back. That's the State Champs that I know and love.
That's more of an all-county fair champs.
yeah, town fair, state fair champs. Anything there.
Yeah. Late champs.
Late champs. I was late to this interview.
I did laugh when I typed that.
I was a little late coming here to the studio, and Fish just texted me late champs, and I was like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Calm down.
I'll be there soon.
Yeah, so now on this record, too, you guys have Light Blue and then obviously Silver Cloud, which we played earlier to intro the interview. So talk about using colors to describe song titles, because that's not something you guys have ever really done from my understanding.
Yeah, the color thing it wasn't intentional. Silver Cloud, I think, is more about like, Silver Cloud's about breaking the mold of an everyday routine that you're stuck in and wanting to be doing something else, right? We're all getting older, and we're realizing, what the heck do we want to do with our lives? And do I want to just sit around and not try to achieve things that I've been wanting to do my whole life? It's like, no, don't be scared. Just don't be stuck in one thing and then have regrets later down the line. But as far as Light Blue goes, it's actually about, and some people have figured this out, some people haven't, it's about a smell. It's about a scent. Light Blue refers to the Dolce & Gabbana perfume, Light Blue. And it's just reminiscing on the fact that every time you can go off and do anything, you can go in and out of relationships and get past things and past dark times. But there's callbacks to things, and one in particular is when you smell a certain scent that someone used to wear, it brings you back to certain memories, and you can't shake it. So that's the first time we ever tried to do that. Who writes a song about a smell? I've never really heard about anyone doing that besides like I Smell Sex and Candy or whatever that song is.
There's a handful, but
there's a few.
Yeah, I'll leave it to you. There's none by State Champs.
Can't you smell that smell? But now we have our own take on it, and it's a new, punk modern version of something like that. And it was fun to do, and I think we achieved it.
Definitely. It definitely sounds like you guys tried some fungi shroom chocolates.
Yeah, were we on drugs? Maybe.
Yeah.
But we got it. We accomplished the mission. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I took the same drugs about 2 miles down the road. I didn't write Light Blue or Silver Cloud. I'll say that much.
No, but you have provided the friendship, and that's what we needed.
Yeah, that was the funniest coincidence, both being in Joshua Tree at the same time.
Yeah, dude. Wait, that wasn't when you stayed in the UFO, was it?
No, it was the second time when I had like the movie theater and like the life-size bowling and everything.
Everyone, Fish goes on these like random, like, I need to get out and go to the desert and like just for like 3 days and not talk to anybody and just disappears off the face of Los Angeles for a little bit. And then we'll find, I was just staying in an Airbnb shaped like a UFO for the past week. We're like, where the hell you been, bro?
It's like between that house and the one when I just ran away to Topanga for a few days.
It's just like, yeah, no worries. I'm good now, though. I'm ready to come back and hang. All right, sweet. Fish's spiritual journey. He's back.
Fish, you were 35 minutes away without traffic, right? Nah, dude, I was very far out.
But that's enough.
That's enough. It's far enough away from the strip and everything.
Yeah.
So with this record, too, when I listened to it, I'm like, this record was meant to be played live. It's the first time I've heard a Champs record, probably since Around the World and Back, where I'm like, okay, these guys could come out and do a whole album play for the record, and I think every single person will be stoked about it.
I think so too. We always think about it when we're in the studio making songs. It's like, I at least me personally, I'm always thinking about how it's going to translate live, because that's the most important part about State Champs. Even if someone's going to see us or hear about us for the first time, I'd prefer for them to come to the show.
Yeah.
And when thinking about a track list for an album like this one, it's no different than thinking about a set list for a show. Let's find how we space apart the fast circle pity songs, and then don't put 2 slow songs next to each other, because that's boring.
Yep.
Like, this song is the jumpy song. So then after that, bless you, Biggie, then you have to have the finger pointy tough guy song, and then you go back to the circle pit song, and round we go. Make sure that it's a nice little roller coaster of, crowd participation, if you will. So it's the same idea. Live show or track list for the album, they go hand in hand.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. And something I've noticed about State Champs over the last couple of years, even though you guys have been in fantastic shape, always looking better than ever every time I see you guys, the pants have gotten a little bit looser.
The pants have gotten looser.
No one's rocking the skinny jeans in State Champs anymore.
I'm not anti-skinny jeans. I just want to make that clear. I will bring out the skinny jeans sometimes if I need to, but they've gotten a little looser. Skinny jeans are just a little bit out. You know what's in right now? Camo, tree camo.
Interesting.
Isn't that the biggest? I'm not wearing any right now, but the like real tree, like hunter camo with the like orange print. I'm like, bro, that never left upstate New York where I'm from. That shit has been constant.
That's the Catholic school uniform up in Schenectady.
You go up to Schenectady, New York, or Troy, New York, and walk around and spit in the air. It's gonna land on someone with tree camo for the past 20 years. So they've been ahead of the trend. But now every band's making and sure enough, we're gonna do it on this next tour with tree camo shirt with bright orange State Champs of what? That's actually on our merch spread. So we know where the trends are going.
Hell yeah. Hey, I mean, just write hell of it, and suddenly you're a camo country band.
I mean, yeah, or we could do a song, like we want to do a shirt or a beanie that just says Clueless on it. For like dumb guys and girls.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. And now, dude, the record closes out so strong, and I want to get the title of the track. Golden Years.
The Golden Years, yeah.
What a fucking closer on the record. It's like, man, I've never wanted to change a track listing on a record before, but I'm like, this is track 2 or 3 to me.
You think so?
Dude, yeah, because The Constant is the perfect way of these songs to start the record, and Golden Years, I don't think it's a closer. I think it's a strong song.
It's a very energetic, fast one. It's very like Yellow Card, Foo Fighters, Sugar Culty type influence song. But I think it's more about lyrically that I think makes it a closer for me. Because the idea of the song is like, well, the chorus lyrics are maybe the golden years, they mean something different these days. It's like, maybe we thought it's almost like you never know you're in the good old days until you're past the good old days type thing. And I think about what I considered the golden years. Was it when I was like in high school throwing house parties all the time? Was it when we were first getting any sort of notoriety as a band and partying like rock stars? It's like, no, the golden years are still ahead of us. They might even be right now. So let's not even like look back. Let's look forward on things and be in the right here, right now. And the golden years are always, if you want them to be, in the now. And that was a good way to set the tone and not set the tone, end the tone and end the record, in my opinion.
That's awesome. You set the tone for the rest of someone's day.
Yes, exactly.
they're
for the rest of their golden year.
Exactly. Yeah, no, so this record's incredible. And now you guys have a handful of music videos out right now for the record, some visualizers as well. Yep. So what's the plan for singles coming out with the rest of the record? Because, I mean, I've listened to a record, what is it, 13 songs, 12 songs?
12 songs.
12 songs, and I've heard like 10 singles on there.
I know, man. I mean, that's not a bad problem to have. What we decided is like, you know, it was tough to pick the singles for this, but when we came down to the single choices, one of our favorites and the lead single that's finally going to come out release day is called Save Face Story. And that's going to be the hard push song. It has the only feature on the album by a German hardcore band called Slope that nobody knows who they are, but they will find out shortly. And that one we just filmed a music video for that's going to come out on release day. And we're really excited about it. It's very like murder mystery, like Clue meets like a little bit of comedy and then gets kind of dark at the end. But it's overall so State Champs because we all play characters and we're funny as fuck and we got a lot of friends in it. And it's cool, man. It's going to be good. And I'm excited for everyone to hear that song. Another one I'm excited to play live too.
Oh, hell yeah. Now, getting back to you guys being funny guys, bring back Ryan Scott Graham's Vine.
Dude, Ryan Scott Graham's Vine career was a short-lived golden era, if you will.
It was a golden
And
year.
I'd like to add that I was his producer. I wrote his Vines. Well, I didn't write them, but I produced them. I made sure that they looked good and they went according to plan. We had a lot of great. That was during the course of
Around the World and Back.
Around the World and Back. Yeah, we were like, what can we make a Vine of today? And who can we pull in as special guest cameos and stuff like that? Bring back Vine. Well, I mean, TikTok is just a better version of Vine, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It has to be longer form, so the jokes aren't as quick.
Short form content, man. That's the era. People's attention spans are only 10 seconds long now. Thanks, TikTok and Vine.
Yep. So, yeah, what a great time that was. And now, lyrically on this record, something I've noticed about the lyrics you put, you really love Matchbox 20.
Dude. I mean, honestly, yeah, I do.
They're so fucking good.
They're fucking awesome. So we had to put one nod to them at least.
Yeah.
You know? So that in Light Blue, we do reference. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, I also hear like a lot of 90s guitar parts in the songs. Like, it does feel like kind of like a lot of Third Eye Blindy type verses on the guitars. And then just very hard hitting like... Yeah,
that's the kind of like Ryan Scott Graham 90s alternative riffness meets Tyler's right hand crunchy pop punk staple State Champs, like, and with a little like All American Rejects influence, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of what always peaks in and out. So like even on the last record, Kings of the New Age, it was very like, you know, we were listening to like Sugar Ray and stuff like that, and bringing in it's the 90s nostalgia meets modern production crunch that is State Champs, I think. So we have to carry that through into this record a little bit too.
Hell yeah. No, you guys did an incredible job. And even the first time listening to the record with you, I'm like, dude, the tones you're using on this are insane.
Yeah, we brought out a little bit of fuzziness to our like normal, like crunchy, big, like distorted tone. A little bit of fuzz is what the running theme is of this album.
I love it. And it's very atmospherical at times.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I agree.
Good record. You did it.
Thanks, man. We did it again. 5th album, best one yet. Come on, man. Hop on board.
Now, here's a good question for you. Now that you've said a couple times referencing the old songs to the new songs, if there was one single from any of the last 4 records that could end up on the self-titled, what song would you say it would be?
You know, that's a great question. I haven't been asked this, actually. A single from an old album that could be a single on this album. And you know what? The first one that came to mind is the song Losing Myself from Around the World and Back. And it's because, I mean, selfishly, it's one of my favorites of the old material. But a song like that, that's like poppy, jumpy, groovy, but has a little bit of edge and overall like soulness of the melody is kind of another reoccurring theme on this album that I think would fit good on the self-titled.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's my favorite State Champs music video.
Oh, and it's the best music video.
By far the best one.
According to Alternative Press Music Awards in 2016. I still have the award at my house.
Hey, they don't lie with those awards.
Yeah, I mean, we won the award, so it must be true.
Yeah, you were the AP champ instead of the state champ.
We were. Best. I mean, that was a good moment. And it is a great music video, to be fair. I mean, we rented out a water park for 3 days and got to do whatever we wanted. I would do that and not come out with a video. You know?
I feel like that music video and just that era coincides with the launch of White Claw and like alcoholic beverages that shouldn't have alcohol.
It could have been a 3.5 minute commercial for White Claw.
It could have been. It was, I believe that was the Warped Tour year that we were introduced by White Claws from Becca. Becca was the first person to have White Claws. Becca White, shout out to Becca for doing that for all of us.
Yep, fueled our flip cup raged summer, that did.
Oh, yeah. and then we also, the Not Your Father's Root Beer was at every single Warped barbecue that year.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Now they have a weed drink now.
Oh, you would know that.
I do know that. I haven't tried it yet, but I saw it yesterday.
I'm down to try.
Yeah, let's
Down to get weird.
Yeah, just go 50-50 on it.
Yeah.
See where the night ends.
Absolutely, bro.
Amazing. So is there anything else about the record you want to tell everyone out there right now?
I'm just excited about still doing it, still growing, making new fans, and sharing these experiences. You know, you never know when things could stop with something like this, with music. It's so unpredictable. So I'm doing every album, every song, every tour date that we're about to start coming up like it's the last one. You just never know. We're going to ride this as long as possible and keep setting goals and keep building. But I want to just say thanks to anybody who's been supporting the band, been listening to the music, told a friend about us. You're the only reason we can do it, man. We won't do it if you guys don't keep giving a fuck. So that's what it all comes back down to. And let's ride the wave together into the new chapter of State Champs. I'm stoked.
Hell yeah. And we didn't even talk about the tour. Fucking, you're going on tour with Meet Me at the Altar and Daisy Grenade.
And Knuckle Puck. Yeah, man. It's going to be sick. We start on November 8th. It's also the date of the release of the album, so it goes hand in hand. And it's hitting every major city in the U.S. And get your tickets because they're selling fast. And if you want to come to New York, those are almost gone. We added a second night for you. Go get them.
Hell yeah. Maybe I'll be home for the New York show.
Yeah, come out. Come out. Celebrate the end of the tour together.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Well, if we get all the approval we need in the next 6 days before this interview technically airs, we're going to be premiering a brand new single, or a brand new song that I want to be a single called Hell of It.
Yeah, if you get the okay, we can play Hell of It for y'all. If not, you'll have to wait like 3 days.
Yeah, or you'll have to wait till the next, all right, let's do alternative outros that I'm not going to edit out.
Okay.
So if you're listening to this interview on November 7th, the night before State Champs' 5th studio record, State Champs comes out, you're hearing the premiere of Hell of It on Gone Fishkin.
Here you go.
If you're listening right now, State Champs' brand new record, entitled State Champs, comes out in just a few hours. It's their 5th studio record. It's coming out November 8th, wherever you are in the world. It might be out already, but we can't premiere a new song just yet.
Yeah, not just yet.
Not just yet. So what song do we want to play?
So let's play, this song's called Light Blue.
If you're listening right now, and this interview came out the week after State Champs' 5th studio record entitled State Champs came out, they're currently out on the road with Knuckle Puck, Meet Me at the Altar, and Daisy Grenade. Go check them out. Their record's out right now, and I'm going to play my favorite song off the record. Is that cool with you, Derek?
I would love to hear that.
Oh, man, you know it's going to be Hell of It.
Let's go!